97% of the West Bank. Was the deal perfect? No, no deal ever is. But if they had taken that deal and then shown the Israelis that, okay, we can live side by side without importing fucking rockets from Iran and shooting them at you, and we can police our own militants, then maybe we can grow into more like normal neighbors. But Israel is going to have to keep a little eye on you because you do nothing but try to attack them and make them cease to exist. Is that not reasonable?
Well, Bill Maher and Oliver Stone are here to discuss who has the right to Israel. Maybe you'll find the answer in this video. I'd stick around if I were you and take a listen. But before we get there, 80% of you are not subscribed to this channel. Just take 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds, press the subscribe button below, press that bell because I make 3 to 4 videos a day. If you aren't notified, you will be missing this important information. I'm the other Barack, coming to you live and direct from Israel. Let's get into this video.
Right. Israel's the only place where they had the deal on the table in 1947. Let's split up the country. The Jews were like, okay, we'll do that. We'll take half. Israel was very small the way it was originally drawn up. They said, no, we'll attack you and try to kill you and take it all. They failed. Then they attacked again in 56 and 67 and 73, and they are still attacking. They could have peace so easily. Just stop attacking. Do you really think after all this time, this from the river to the sea, really? You're going to get rid of Israel? They're going to just disappear? What a deluded way to look at the world, even if you believed in it. Like, Israel is not going anywhere. Let's deal with that reality. There's no river to the sea. You're not going to get from the river to the sea. This is the fundamental problem. They don't ever make a deal.
What does that mean, river to the sea?
That's what they chant all the time. It's a way to say Israel is no more, from the river, the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. In other words, we will have all that land, which you never had because, well, I mean,
well, it goes back to the Indian problem. What do you think about our taking Indian land?
Right. Well, the Jews are the Indians of that land. They were there 1,500 years before Muhammad was born.
That's the way the Palestinians feel.
This is factual. Jerusalem was the capital, King David's capital, in 1000 BC. Muhammad is born in 570 AD.
Yes.
Okay. There was a continuous Jewish population, Jerusalem.
Yes.
Okay, it was their
But there were
capital.
Canaanites and Palestinians there.
Well, there were cavemen before that. Sure.
How do you know? You cavemen?
Well, I'm sure, weren't there cavemen everywhere before they were humans?
I think you.
Nobody in 2025 is claiming that they are descendants of the Canaanites. And if you are a Canaanite, please come forward, prove me wrong, prove Tall wrong, prove all of us wrong. We'd love to see paperwork. We'd love to see your DNA of Canaanite ancestry and descendants. That would be beautiful.
Discriminating there. What about the
cavemen?
What about the Crusaders in 1099?
1099.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Why not just charge $11?
What?
No. Yes, I know the taking of Jerusalem.
Yeah, it was slaughtered everything.
Right. That was the Second Crusade? First Crusade. Right. Pope Innocent, is that who proclaimed that?
I forgot the name, but
I think it was, because I was
Pope Innocent, that's a great name.
It's such a great name for that, yes.
But since then, every crusade failed, and this is another crusade. Now, I admit to you that this crusade it's a very complicated story, but the guilt that Germany faces is ironic that Germany ends up attacking the Hamas and saying, yeah, you're driving out, Netanyahu saying, look, 2.5 million people better get out of town now and fast. And it's never been done. The Germans wouldn't have done that in their worst day, in their worst nightmare. This is why Netanyahu is fucking too much. He's crazy that way. And I spent a lot of time with, Shimon Peres, so I know the other side of the Israeli peace party.
Right.
Although a lot of people distrusted Shimon too.
No, the Palestinians could have had their own country a number of times, most recently 2000, the Oslo Accords, 97% of the West Bank. Was the deal perfect? No, no deal ever is. But if they had taken that deal and then shown the Israelis that, okay, we can live side by side without importing fucking rockets from Iran and shooting them at you, and we can police our own militants, then maybe we can grow into more like normal neighbors. But Israel is going to have to keep a little eye on you because you do nothing but try to attack them and make them cease to exist. Is that not reasonable?
Yeah, in 2008, Hamas won the election in that West Bank.
Well, they won their first election, and then there was no more elections.
Yeah, because the Israelis didn't want it.
They pulled out.
Hamas was the legitimate political faction in that area.
So this is wrong. The reason that there were no more elections is not because Israel did not want elections. It's the opposite. Hamas wouldn't allow elections to be taken place once they got elected, and that means once destroying Fatah, once completely overtaking the Gaza Strip, once making it clear that they are a radical group that's going to be ruling the entire place and locking it down. So it's not because Israel had no autonomy over what election process was happening within the government, the internal government inside the Gaza Strip borders. And that's also because Israel took its own people who had villages inside the Gaza Strip, living inside the Gaza Strip, people whose uncles were going to get crops and vegetables inside the Gaza Strip. They forcefully forced them to move, and they put up a wall, and they put up a border wall because there were so many threats against the Jews and the Israelis that they had to move them. And then the IDF left. So the IDF and Israel had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Hamas did not have any new elections since Israel left in 2005.
And the Israelis would not accept that. They made Hamas into a terrorist organization.
Well, that's the thing.
Every single point you mention is a counterpoint.
But when people say, like, well, it's just the Islamic world, you're a horrible Islamophobe, Bill, and, No, I'm just talking about what the reality is. The reality is that very often when you give people, Muslim populations in lots of different countries, this has happened, the choice, they will elect. In Egypt, it was the Muslim Brotherhood. In Gaza, it was...
And they were thrown out by a dictator.
By a dictator, right. Gaza, it was, Hamas. Algeria, it happened. I remember there was, have the people have a say. And then the army has to go, you know what, the people kind of fucked up. And we don't want this very Islamic, faith-based government. And they take over and...
that's the problem. That's the problem with the two-state solution. Well, because the truth is that it will never work. That two-state solution is bullshit.
But I'm also saying governments are a reflection of the people here as well as there.
The U.S. government too has been backing Israel too much and giving it way too much credibility and saying we're supporting you no matter what. And that's seen. We're making so many enemies throughout the world. Biden is flying in there like some Superman, and he's going to find out the truth.
So you'll never vote for Biden again?
Never.
Never?
Never.
No matter who runs again?
Well, he'll be dead by the time I vote again.
Well, but we wish him well, Oliver. We wish him well. So even Trump, you'd vote?
I think Biden has got some psychopathic problem with Russia. I really do.
Hey.
I want to know what you think is going to happen when this war is over. Is it the two-state solution, one-state solution? Does the U.S. govern the Gaza Strip? Does Hamas govern the Gaza Strip? Who has sovereignty over the entire land? What happens to the Palestinian people? Honestly, don't flood the comment section with this crazy, ridiculous ideas of Hamas remaining in power with Israel having nothing to do with, the people there, because at the end of the day, Israel has been shown that they have to have something to do with the people. Let's all agree that there needs to be some security presence at the border, in the Gaza Strip, so that October 7th never happens again. There's 0% chance that there's any risk associated with that. You can have any margin of error here after what happened almost 2 years ago. So I just want to know what you think, really, honestly, as where we are with this thing continuing to drag out. Because we have a really, I don't even know if I should call it difficult situation. It's beyond difficult when you have 50 hostages and you have internal debate and extreme divide within Israeli society because people are so torn. Everyone cares about the hostages. However, the fact that many do feel like this entire situation has been politicized from the right to the left, and that there's lack of care, lack of attention, lack of desire from the government, and then lack of desire from the IDF, or lack of desire from other people to, there's so much, it's this web. I keep saying, you know, those like rubber bands, those balls of rubber bands where the knots are just so tight that you would need hours, if not days, to unravel and untangle that knot. And even when it is untangled, it's still not clear. That's the conflict right now. You know, and there's just too many questions. There's too much uncertainty around where we go and what happens. You know, I think about this all the time. I really, really do. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Like I said in the beginning of this video, only 80% of you guys are subscribed. Please take a second right below, press subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you get all of the videos. Here's a note from me. Here are 4 ways you can help us grow if you believe in our mission. On Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal, you can directly contribute to helping this message grow and reach more people across the world. If you want to join the inner circle, join our Patreon with different tiers, and of course, our Discord community, which is free with people from all across the world. The links to every single one are in the description. And last but not least, to the other Brock community, I love you. Ani ohev otchem. I'll see you guys next time.